Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bringing an NFL matchup between the St. Louis Rams and the New Orleans Saints. Now, the Rams have to come to this matchup in a hostile environment in the Superdome, and they have to take the crowd out early. The way you do that, long, sustained drives. You guys have an outstanding running back. Your interior offensive line is strong with guard to guard, and rookie Roger Saffold is playing outstanding on the right side of that line of scrimmage. So what you guys have to do is come in and run the football downhill against that New Orleans Saints defensive front. If you guys can get Steven Jackson going in the game early, that's going to help out Sam Bradford. That's going to alleviate some of that pressure and allow him to step back and hit his targets down the field like Denario Alexander or Donald Fells and everything down the field. So that's one thing that you guys have to look at. Get the running game going. That's how you shrink the TOP for the Saints and keep the crowd out of the game offensively. Also on offense, you want to work your targets underneath. You guys have some outstanding young tight ends, some young talented playmakers in Amendola and Alexander on the flank. So if you work your guys underneath, that's going to make those outside linebackers, Shanley in particular, cover the underneath coverage of the St. Louis of you guys' offense. And effectively, you guys can nip and tuck your way down the field. Now, defensively, when you come to this game, you have to get pressure on Drew Brees. That goes without say, but take away the middle of the field. If you guys, linebackers, Laurinaitis and company, can cover the middle of the field against this Saints offense, you guys can effectively shut down what the Saints want to do offensively. You guys have to make sure you protect the middle of your field. And when Meacham is in the game, keep a safety over top. He is a deep threat. He's a guy that they're going to go to make the big play. So anytime you see Meacham lined up in a slot or on the flanks, keep a safety over top. That way you help protect yourself in defensive coverage from the big play deep down the field. Now, if you're the Saints coming into this game, when you play the Rams, you have to make sure a young team that's very talented like St. Louis, you have to get up on these guys early, so you have to take these guys out of the game mentally. You have to make sure you go for the jugular early on in the game. That's going to shrink a young team's confidence. So look to make the big play early in the game. Look to go for the jugular. Look to go for their throats in the first quarter. But also, if that doesn't work, guys, you got to come back to normal. You guys do run the football real well, so don't lose that balance, guys. You see Chris Ivory is getting ahead of steam. You see Julius Jones has some pop. Reggie Bush should, when you give him the football in a traditional tailback setting, he's gaining over 5 yards a carry. So get Reggie Bush more involved in the running game, but get back to balance, guys. When you guys are deadly on offense, you guys have the balance. Defensively coming into this matchup, you have a rookie, so you don't want a situation where when you face Jimmy Clausen or you face Max Hall, where these guys are able to have some success against that defense. You have to keep the pressure up on Sam Bradford. One thing that's important about Bradford, he's a guy that can throw well on the run, but if he gets pressure down the middle of his offensive line, of his protection, he can pose to be inaccurate. He can pose to get that football out quickly. So that way it's up to the back half of your defense to make tackles underneath. So getting pressure up that A gap and B gap should prove to be successful for you guys. So normally when you blitz from the outside, you can get a quarterback on the move, but Bradford is a guy you don't want to get on the move because he can throw as accurate on the move as he can when he has protection up front. So getting pressure up the A and B gap should help you guys out a lot this week. I'm going with New Orleans at home. This could be a preview of a wild card playoff matchup. So you look at the Saints and Rams, two conflicting styles, but two teams that are very talented. The Rams have a young, talented core on offense and a young, talented core on defense. But I think the Saints right now, a little bit more explosion on offense. Defensively, they're going to be able to get pressure up that A gap. So look for the Saints to come in to this game and take care of business at home. For more NFL previews, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan.